Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we are adding lights to a hitch-mounted cargo carrier. Well, whenever my wife and I go camping, we have a hitch-mounted cargo carrier that we place on the back of the truck. The problem is that once the thing is loaded up with our gear, it partially blocks out the taillights of my vehicle, and I'm not a fan of that. So for quite some time, I've wanted to add external lights on the carrier to mimic the operation of the vehicle, signal lights, that sort of thing, the same way that a trailer would have the lights on it. But I've been having a hard time coming up with how to do it. I've been struggling with that. But I think I have the solution today for it, and it might apply to some of you out there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to mount these lights on the back of my carrier. So let's head over to the bench and check out what we're looking at. Well, here is my carrier, and it's rather large, but I really love this thing. I got this from Princess Auto. I'll post a link to it down below in case some of you are interested or in the market to buy one. This thing has been rock solid over the years, but you can see because of the cage style, there's not many areas to mount lights on this. I considered your regular box style trailer lights, but there's nowhere to put them. We do have this little strip right here on each side, but it's not wide enough to house the lights. And while I can modify them and drill into them, I didn't think it would give quite enough support. So you're kind of limited here to what you can do. But I think I have the perfect solution. So let's head over to the bench and I'm going to show you what I picked up. Well, here is my solution. And what this is if you've seen the pickup trucks and right underneath the tailgate, they have that LED strip that does the brake lights, signal lights, running lights, reverse lights, etc. That's what this is. Now, I picked this one up off of Amazon. I'll post the link down below to it, but this one comes complete with the 4-pin trailer hitch plug. So it's a plug and play system for the most part. I'm going to get into that a little while later. But one thing I will say about this particular unit is that this does not come labeled for left or right. So before you do anything, you're going to want to plug this into your vehicle and have someone get in the driver's seat and test it for left and right. And I've placed a piece of masking tape here with an L on it and one with an R on the other end. And we've tested this to make sure we know which is which, because we'd really hate to mount it, hit your left signal and have it signal to the right. So much for safety. Now you've given confusing signals and confusing intention to other drivers. So this is our strip, and this is adhesive mount. Don't know how much I trust it, so we're going to do a little bit extra to that. But for now, this is our mount. So before we can do anything with this, we need to prep our cargo carrier. Now, I have debated where to put the lights, whether it should be on this top strip or here on this bottom strip. And I have decided to go on the bottom for a couple reasons. Number one, when I'm lifting in gear into the cargo bed here, I lift it over the back end, and sometimes things are heavier and I bang into this top rail and kind of drag it over top. That would damage my lights. So for that reason, I don't want it up here. But as well, at the bottom, if I put it on this top strip right here, we have this lower cross-section bar that is support from your center hitch receiver post. That bar will now protect those lights from being hit from underneath, from if I am lifting something up or what have you. That bar will protect my light system. So this has been out in the elements for a while. This has been out in my shed, in my carport. So this thing is dusty, dirty, etc. So the very first thing you want to do, no adhesive is going to stick to this. So the first thing we want to do is we need to get some rubbing alcohol and a clean cloth, and we are going to give the entire surface that we're going to adhere these lights a really good cleaning with rubbing alcohol, and then let the alcohol completely dry. If you want to be sure, you can do it a couple times. So the alcohol is dry. Now, making sure that I have the left on the left and the right on the right, I have measured and marked the center of our strip just using some fine point pencil. Even though this is billed as a 48-inch strip, it's actually 48 and a half. So you want to make sure that you get it in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up in the center, and then very carefully, starting from this end over here on the right, I'm going to peel off the adhesive backing and start adhering this strip all the way along on the lower bar of my carrier, making sure that I get it centered top to bottom along the length of the carrier. All right, and with that now mounted, I can remove my masking tape markings. Now, guys, if you are a regular here on the show, you probably know what I'm gonna say next. But if you're new to this and you're just watching me for the first time, I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial or that may shock you a little bit. Tape is adhesive. And in a shop like this, or any shop, if you're using adhesive, what do? We clamp it. Guys, tape is no different. When you peel the backing off of anything like 3M tape or double face tape or anything like that, if you want any kind of a permanent adhesion, you need to clamp it, because as soon as you peel off that backing, you are now exposing the wet adhesive. So you want to clamp this in place with just light pressure for at least 30 minutes. Let that adhesive of that strip completely cure and hold it securely onto the cargo carrier. Now you may notice that I've placed strips of wood across this light bar. The reason being, the front face of this light bar is a soft texture. You can squish it and crush it with your thumb pressure. So we want the pieces of wood here to disperse the pressure of the clamp. We don't want the clamps to crush in on the light and possibly damage the LED units or damage the waterproof casing on the outside. So let's let this sit now for 30 minutes, and once we're done that, I guess we can start working on the wiring for this unit. Well, it's been way over 30 minutes, but I can leave this clamped up. Clamping it for extra time doesn't hurt. So we have our wires here. Now guys, this one here, even though it's a 4-pin harness, there are actually 5 wires in this light bar. You have your main power, you have your running lights, brake lights, and left and right signal. But this red wire right here, this is for the reverse light, which this bar also comes in. I'm hoping to wire that in at another time, but I'm going to have to add another plug on the vehicle. And at this point in time, I don't have the parts for that. So that will probably be on one of the update shows. Either way, what we need to do is this wire here, because this is meant to be mounted just above your trailer hitch plug. These wires are not long enough. There's no way they're going to reach. This is the plugs as far as it goes. I need them way over there. So the very first thing that we're going to do, this is a 22 gauge wire. I have 22 gauge wire here in the shop. I am going to cut each one of these and splice in, solder, and then use heat shrink to seal it in and extend each one of these wires in order to give us the extra length we need to reach the trailer hitch plug on the back of my vehicle. I have all of my wires here kind of tie wrapped in place temporarily, and I have measured out what I need to extend them, and that's what we're going to do now. So I have my soldering station all set up, and I'm just going to extend these wires. Now the 22 gauge wire that I have is all black. So to avoid any confusion or complication, what I'm going to do is solder these wires one at a time, and just to identify them, the heat shrink that I'll be using will be color coded to match the color of the wire that I'm soldering. Well, all of our cables have been extended and soldered at both ends, and like I said, I have used colored heat shrink to identify each one of the cables at both ends. But guys, we need some kind of mechanical protection for these. I just don't want these little 22 gauge wires tie wrapped or what have you around the cage of our carrier. So for that, we're going to use split loom. Now guys, if you don't know what split loom is, it's basically a plastic, almost like corrugated tubing that has a split in it all the way along its length. and you can just place your wires into that split and push it onto your cable, just like this, and it closes up on itself and provides you with a mechanical protection for your individual cables. It's almost like a plastic conduit. So I am going to push this all the way up tight to my light, and we are going to run this split loom all the way along the length of our extended wires, and at that point in time we can dress this cable in. And with that split loom now installed on our cable, I haven't cut it to its final length, but what I do want to do now is I want to dress this cable in all along here on the underside of our carrier, and that will provide some great protection because I'm going to run the cable right along the edge of the steel bars underneath. So it will be protected from the top by the cage of the carrier, and it will be protected underneath by the support of the bars of the carrier. So I'm going to get all of this cable dressed in, and from there, well, you know what? I'll show you what to do next. Well, just before we finish off with the dressing of our cables, we have them mostly done here. Guys, this is held on with double-face tape. And in the past, I have used 3M tape, and I trust it to hold. I don't know what kind of tape they've used on this one, and although it does seem to be extremely secure on here, I want to put a cable tie, one at each end, and then two evenly spaced in the middle, just as an insurance. Should this tape let go, I don't want to lose my investment or drag it behind my vehicle at 100 kilometers an hour, destroying it. So just as a little security for my investment, I'm going to place 4 cable ties here on this light bar. Well, this next point or this next step may or may not apply to you. My cargo carrier is the type that folds. So when you're not using it, you can fold it up and lock it in place in the vehicle. And if that's the case, when dressing your split loom or dressing your cables, you need to compensate for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here and dress the cable in, but you just want to make sure that you're not shooting yourself in the foot. So if we dress this down to the actual carrier bar here, once we pull this up, you can see what kind of a loop is going to be there. So you want to make sure that you're allowing for that, because you don't want to fold your carrier up, pull your cables taut, and end up damaging them in the long run. So I'm going to dress this in, finish this up. It'll kind of look like this when I'm done. And then we're going to take this out to my vehicle and test it out and see how it looks. Well, for me, this wire here on the hitch is a little long. I overcompensated for this. I'm not too concerned. What I'm going to do is give it a little bit of a coil here like that, and then one cable tie around here to hold this coil. I may even double it up to make it tighter. I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it in this scenario. And inside here is that reverse light wire. So that is also incorporated in here. And as I said, later on, I'll probably wire that up and through with a separate plug down here to be able to use that function of the light bar. But with that now, let's have a look and see how this looks on the back of the vehicle. And we can see the running lights there, and they look great. And there are the brakes, and they look great, very bright, very visible. And then of course we have our left signal, and then our right signal, and lastly we have our hazard or our 4-way flashers. And there you have it, adding lights to a hitch mounted cargo carrier. Guys, I wasn't even going to post this. I really wasn't. I've been talking with a friend of mine, Richard, who is also a viewer here of the show, about this for quite some time. He has a car carrier that has the same issue, that his taillights are somewhat blocked out. And it is a concern. It's a safety concern for us. And we've been discussing this back and forth over quite some time, and nothing really ever happened with it. And then when I was on vacation, Richard shoots me a link to this LED bar. And honest to goodness, the more I looked into it, the more I thought it was a good idea. So while I was still on vacation, I ordered it, paid for it, and by the time I got home, it had been delivered. And then, of course, here on today's show, I installed it. So Richard, thank you for sending me that link. The only reason I did it here on the show is because I figured that if Richard and I spent as much time as we did brainstorming back and forth as to how to get some safety lights on the back of this thing, then there's got to be those of you out there as well that have the same predicament. There are those of you out there as well that are trying to think, what can I do? What can I do to improve this? And while the reverse light is not connected right now, I do intend to connect it. But for me, for traveling, for being on the highway, I have the main functions I want. I have running lights, I have brake lights, I have signals, four-way flashers. I'm not going to be going reverse on a highway, so I'm not too concerned about being rear-ended in reverse. If I'm going reverse on a highway, there are much bigger problems than whether or not that reverse light is working. Either way, I'm glad to have all of that extra visibility now. So now I do have partial tail lights of my truck as well as that very bright LED bar. Guys, that thing is brilliant. I love it. It's very intense. Now there is a bit of a delay. I don't know if you saw that in the video, but the incandescent lamps illuminate first. Then the LEDs kick in after that. And there may be some of you that might say, you know what, voltage loss from extending those wires. No, it's not the case. It did it right from the beginning, from the moment I plugged it in. So there's something in the electronic circuits inside of that bar that gives it that little bit of a delay. But I'm still okay with that because the delay is only about a second. And that second, by the time I hit the brakes and the brakes come on a second later, it is still an excellent indication. I don't let anybody get up my butt that far on the highway. That 1 second is going to make the difference for me. And same with signaling. I signal far enough in advance that that 1 second delay is not going to make a difference one way or the other. So guys, I know that it is not something that's really rocket science. This is something anybody can do. Aside from the soldering, there's nothing really technical about this. I stuck a light bar on the back of my carrier, put some tie straps, dressed in a cable, plugged it in, and tested it. It's a very simple process, but if some of you out there are concerned about your cargo carrier and you're wondering how you can add lights for safety, for your brakes and your signals and that sort of thing, this is an extremely viable option, and I'll put the link to it down below in the description. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I've had fun with this one today. This one came out of necessity, as some of the shows here on the program do. It was something that I was concerned about and have been concerned about for a couple years now, and I'm finally getting that concern off of my shoulders, the weight of that off of me, because I now have that visibility and the warning at the rear end of my vehicle that I want. So I'm happy about that, and I hope you enjoyed the whole process. Richard, thanks very much again for sending me that link. If you haven't already, if you found any part of today's show interesting, informative, fun, funny, whatever, entertaining, you know what? Why not like and subscribe to the channel? We have an amazing audience base here, and I'm really hoping that you're going to consider becoming a part of that. Guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the process. I hope you've enjoyed is it a project? I don't know. I hope you've enjoyed the installation. I hope that if you are struggling with your carrier and what to do about lights on the back of it, I hope this has provided you with a solution. And more importantly, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.